Now, in the last half an hour, the director of the US Secret Service has resigned from her post after the agency was heavily criticised following the assassination attempt on Donald Trump on July the 13th. Kimberly Cheatle was subjected to a brutal cross-examination yesterday, around about 24 hours ago, before a House committee, during which she was accused of cutting corners on the former president's security and was told she would have been culpable if Donald Trump had been killed. Well, I'm now joined by GBNews reporter Ray Addison. Ray, we carried this cross-examination on the show yesterday. It was absolutely eviscerating, savage. Miss Cheatle didn't seem to have any answers to the big questions. And lo and behold, she was said at the time, one of the senators said, Joe Biden needs to fire you. That didn't happen. She's resigned. Tell us more.
Well, yeah, not only did she not have any answers, but it seemed that she had not done the necessary investigation into this incident that the whole of the world and certainly America would have expected. She didn't have any answers about the what officials knew about the potential threats there, the decisions that they had made, anything about the suspicious behaviour of the suspect and who knew what at what times. But she had denied claims which have been repeated by many Republicans that the Secret Service had refused additional resources to protect Donald Trump at that event, and said that they did have the resources that they had requested at that particular event in Pennsylvania. And so she had initially refused to resign, despite calling that incident on July 13th the most significant operational failure at the Secret Service in decades. But the pressure has just been too much now for Cheatle. It's not just come from the Republican Party, it's come from the Democrats as well. And that just overwhelming amount of people just calling on her to step down has obviously resulted in this.
Some of the questions in there, Ray Addison, yesterday were simply astonishing. They were the most basic questions you would expect a director of the Secret Service to know the answer to, and she simply didn't have them. The most incredible question, the entire audience gasped, Ray, when this was asked, and she answered. The question was, why was the president allowed to take to the stage when you knew a suspicious man was on the roof? To which she replied, we didn't know he was dangerous. At that point, Ray Addison, the writing was on the wall. She had to go.
And it's fascinating because, you know, we've seen so many reports now that they knew about the presence of crooks up to 60 minutes before any shots rang out. But she was unable to answer, you know, what action had been taken. She was unable, as you said, to answer basic questions such as how many Secret Service officers were there, how many police officers were there. And certainly the idea of failing to guard this perimeter, this building that was deemed to be outside of the perimeter, and yet only around 125 to 150 metres away from where the Republicans' presidential candidate was speaking, a former president no less, was speaking, has just beggared belief and shocked the American public. And it's bizarre because, you know, she has served in the Secret Service for around 20 years. She left and worked for PepsiCo, and then she came back. She was appointed by President Biden as the head of the Secret Service. She had guarded him and his wife, Dr. Jill, when he was vice president. And so she certainly should have had the experience and the knowledge to know how many guards were needed, and that the buildings such as that rooftop, just a mere metres away from where Donald Trump was speaking, should have been secured.
OK, astonishing stuff, Ray Addison. Thank you very much.